Welcome to Coffee with Viking. I am Mike. Cheers. Joshua chapter 14. And these are the countries which the children of Israel inherited in the land of Canaan, which Eleazar the priest and Joshua the son of Nun and the heads of the fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel distributed for inheritance to them. By lot was their inheritance, as the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses, for the 9 tribes and for the half tribe. For Moses had given the inheritance of 2 tribes, and in half tribe, and on the other side Jordan. But unto the Levites he gave none inheritance among them. For the children of Joseph were 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. Therefore they gave no part unto the Levites in the land, save cities to dwell in with their suburbs, for their cattle and for their substance. As the Lord commanded Moses, so the children of Israel did, and they divided the land. Then the children of Judah came unto Joshua in Gilgal, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite said unto him, Thou knowest the thing that the Lord said unto Moses, the man of God, concerning me and thee in Kadesh Barnea. 40 years old was I when Moses the servant of the Lord sent me from Kadesh Barnea to Epsi out of the land, and I brought him word again as it was in mine heart. Nevertheless, my brethren, that went up with me made the heart of the people melt, but I wholly followed the Lord my God. And Moses sware on the day, saying, Surely the land whereon thy feet have trodden shall be thine inheritance, and thy children forever, because thou hast wholly followed the Lord my God. And now, behold, the Lord hath kept me alive, as he said, these 45 years, even since the Lord spake this word unto Moses, while the children of Israel wandered in the wilderness. And now, lo, I am this day 85 years old, and yet I am as strong this day as I was in the day that Moses sent me. As my strength was then, even so is my strength now, for war both to go out and to come in. Now therefore give me this mountain whereof the Lord spake in that day, for thou heardest in the day. Now the Anakims were there, and that the cities were great and fenced. If so be the Lord will be with me, then I shall be able to drive them out, as the Lord said. And Joshua blessed him, and gave unto Caleb the son of Jephunneh Hebron for an inheritance. Hebron therefore became the inheritance of Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite unto this day, because that he wholly followed the Lord God of Israel. And the name of Hebron before was Kirjath Arba, which Arba was a great man among the Anakims, and the land had rest from war. Chapter 15. This then was the lot of the tribe of the children of Judah by the families, even to the border of Edom, the wilderness of Zin. Southward was the uttermost part of the south coast, and their south border was from the shore of the salt sea, from the bay that looketh southward, and it went out to the south side of Mali Akrabim, and passed along to Zin, and ascended up on the south side unto Kadesh Barnea, and passed along to Hezron, and went up to Adar, and fetched a compass to Karka. From thence it passed toward Asmon, and went out unto the river of Egypt, and the goings out of that coast were at the sea. This shall be your south coast, and the east border was the salt sea, even unto the end of Jordan. And their border in the north quarter was from the bay of the sea at the uttermost part of Jordan. And the border went up to Beth Hogla, and passed along by the north of Beth Araba, and the border went up to the stone of Bohan, the son of Reuben, and the border went up toward Debir from the valley of Acre, and so northward, looking toward Gilgal. That is before the going up to Adumim, which is on the south side of the river, and the border passed toward the waters of En-Shemesh. And the goings out therefore were at En-Rogel. At the border went up by the valley of the son of Hinnom unto the south side of the Jebusite, the same is Jerusalem. And the border went up to the top of the mountain that lieth before the valley of Hinnom westward, which is at the end of the valley of the giants northward. And the border was drawn from the top of the hill unto the fountain of the water of Nephtoah, and went out to the cities of Mount Ephron, and the border was drawn to Bala, which is Kirjath Jearim, and the border compassed from Bala westward unto Mount Seir, and passed along unto the side of Mount Jearim, which is Chesalon on the north side, and went down to Beth Shemesh, and passed on to Timnah. And the border went out unto the side of Ekron northward, and the border was drawn to Shikron, and passed along to Mount Bala, and went out unto Jabneel. And the goings out of the border were at the sea. And the west border was to the great sea, and the coast thereof. This is the coast of the children of Judah round about according to their families. And unto Caleb the son of Jephunneh he gave a part among the children of Judah according to the commandment of the Lord to Joshua, even the city of Arba, the father of Anak, which city is Hebron. And Caleb drove thence the three sons of Anak, Sheshai, and Ahiman, and Talmai, the children of Anak. And he went up thence to the inhabitants of Debir, and the name of Debir before was Kirjath Sepher. And Caleb said, He that smiteth Kirjath Sepher, and taketh it, to him will I give Achsah my daughter to wife. And Othniel the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it, and gave him Achsah his daughter to wife. And it came to pass, as she came unto him, that she moved him to ask of her father a field. And she lighted off her ass, and Caleb said unto her, What wouldest thou? Who answered, Give me a blessing, for thou hast given me a southland. Give me also springs of water. And he gave her the upper springs and the nether springs. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Judah according to their families. In the uttermost cities of the tribe of the children of Judah toward the coast of Edom, southward were Kabzeel and Eder and Jagur and Kenah and Damonah and Adada and Kadesh and Hazar and Ithnan, Ziph and Telem and Biloth and Hazor, Hadattah and Kerioth and Hezron, which is Hazor, Amam and Shema and Moladah and Hazor Gadah and Heshmon and Beth Palat and Hazar Shual and Beersheba and Bizjoth Bala and Ian and Azam and Ethtola and Chesel and Hormah and Ziklag and Madmanah and Sansana and Leboeth and Shilhim and Ain and Rimmon. All the cities are 29 with their villages, and in the valley Eshtaol and Zoriah and Ashna and Zanoah and Engannon, Taphua and Enam, Jarmuth and Adullam, Soko and Azekah and Shuraim and Adithaim and Gederah and Gederothim, 14 cities with their villages, Zenan and Hadassah and Migdal-gad and Diline and Mizpeh and Joktheel, Lashish and Bozkath and Eglon and Kaban and Lomon and Kithlish and Gederoth, Beth Dagon and Nama and Makkedah, 16 cities with their villages, Libnah and Ether and Ashan and Jiphthah and Ashna and Nezib and Keilah and Ajzib and Mareshah, 9 cities with their villages, Ekron with her towns and her villages, from Ekron even unto the sea, all that lay near Ashdod with their villages, Ashdod with her towns and her villages, Gaza with her towns and her villages, unto the river of Egypt, and the great sea, and the border thereof, and in the mountains, Shamir and Jatir and Soko and Dana and Kirjath Sana, which is Debir, and Anab and Eshtemo and Anim and Goshen and Holon and Gilo, 11 cities with her villages, Arab and Duma and Ashin and Janum and Beth Tappuah and Aphekah and Humtah and Kirjath Arba, which is Hebron, and Zior, 9 cities with their villages, Maon, Carmel, and Ziph, and Juttah, and Jezreel, and Jokdeam, and Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 cities with her villages, Halhol, Bezer, and Gedor, and Marath, and Bethanoth, and Eltekon, 6 cities with her villages, Kirjath Baal, which is Kirjath Jearim, and Rabbah, 2 cities with her villages. In the wilderness, Beth Arabah, Medin, and Sekakan, and Zibshan, and the city of Salt, and En-gedi, 6 cities with her villages. As for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the children of Judah could not drive them out, but the Jebusites dwell with the children of Judah at Jerusalem unto this day. Chapter 16. And the lot of the children of Joseph fell from Jordan by Jericho unto the water of Jericho on the east to the wilderness that goeth up from Jericho throughout Mount Bethel, and goeth out from Bethel to Luz, and passed along unto the borders of Archi to Atoroth, and goeth down westward to the coast of Japhleti, unto the coast of Beth Horon, the nether into Gezer, and the goings out thereof are at the sea. So the children of Joseph, Manasseh, and Ephraim took their inheritance. In the border of the children of Ephraim, according to their families, was thus even the border of their inheritance on the east side, with Atoroth Adar unto Beth Horon, the upper, and the border went out toward the sea of Michmethah on the north side, and the border went about eastward unto Tanath Shiloh, and passed by it on the east of Janohah, and it went down from Janohah to Ataroth and to Narath, and came to Jericho, and went out at Jordan. The border went out from Tappuah westward unto the river Kanah, and the goings out thereof were at the sea. This is the inheritance of the tribe, the children of Ephraim by their families. And the separate cities for the children of Ephraim were among the inheritance of the children of Manasseh, all the cities with their villages. And they drove not out the Canaanites that dwelt in Gezer, but the Canaanites dwell among the Ephraimites unto this day, and serve under tribute. Chapter 17. There was also a lot for the tribe of Manasseh, for he was the firstborn of Joseph, to wit, for Machir, the firstborn of Manasseh, the father of Gilead, because he was a man of war. Therefore he had Gilead and Bashan. There was also a lot for the rest of the children of Manasseh by their families, for the children of Abiezer, and for the children of Helek, and for the children of Azriel, and for the children of Shechem, and for the children of Hepher, and for the children of Shemida. These were the male children of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, by their families. But Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, had no sons but daughters, and these are the names of his daughters: Mahlah, and Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. And they came near before Eleazar the priest, and before Joshua the son of Nun, and before the prince, saying, The Lord commanded Moses to give us an inheritance among our brethren. Therefore, according to the commandment of the Lord, he gave them an inheritance among the brethren of their father. And there fell 10 portions to Manasseh, beside the land of Gilead and Bashan, which were on the other side Jordan, because the daughters of Manasseh had an inheritance among his sons, and the rest of Manasseh's sons had the land of Gilead. And the coast of Manasseh was from Asher to Michmethah, that lieth before Shechem, and the border went along on the right hand unto the inhabitants of En-tappuah. Now Manasseh had the land of Tappuah, but Tappuah on the border of Manasseh belonged to the children of Ephraim. And the coast descended unto the river Kana, southward of the river. These cities of Ephraim are among the cities of Manasseh. The coast of Manasseh also was on the north side of the river, and the outgoings of it were at the sea. Southward it was Ephraim's, and northward it was Manasseh's, and the sea is his border. And they met together in Asher on the north, and in Issachar on the east. And Manasseh had in Issachar, in Asher Beth Shean and her towns, and Ibleam and her towns, and the inhabitants of Dor and her towns, and the inhabitants of Endor and her towns, and the inhabitants of Tanash and her towns, and the inhabitants of Megiddo and her towns, even 3 countries. Yet the children of Manasseh could not drive out the inhabitants of those cities, but the Canaanites would dwell in that land. Yet it came to pass, when the children of Israel were waxen strong, and they put the Canaanites to tribute, but did not utterly drive them out. And the children of Joseph spake unto Joshua, saying, Why hast thou given me but one lot and one portion to inherit, seeing I am great people, for as much as the Lord hath blessed me hitherto? And Joshua answered them, If thou be a great people, then get thee up to the wood country, and cut down for thyself there in the land of the Perizzites and of the giants, if Mount Ephraim be too narrow for thee. And the children of Joseph said, The hill is not enough for us. And all the Canaanites that dwell in the land of the valley have chariots of iron, both they who are of Bethshean and her towns, and they who are of the valley of Jezreel. And Joshua spake unto the house of Joseph, even to Ephraim and to Manasseh, saying, Thou art a great people, and hast great power. Thou shalt not have one lot only, but the mountain shall be thine. For it is a wood, and thou shalt cut it down, and the outgoings of it shall be thine. For thou shalt drive out the Canaanites, though they have iron chariots, and though they be strong. Chapter 18. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel assembled together at Shiloh, and set up the tabernacle of the congregation there, and the land was subdued before them. And there remained among the children of Israel 7 tribes, which had not yet received their inheritance. And Joshua said unto the children of Israel, How long are ye slack to go to possess the land which the Lord God of your fathers hath given you? Give out from among you 3 men for each tribe, and I will send them, and they shall rise and go through the land, and describe it according to the inheritance of them, and they shall come again to me, and they shall divide it into 7 parts. Judah shall abide in their coast on the south, and the house of Joseph shall abide in their coast on the north. Ye shall therefore describe the land into 7 parts, and bring the description hither to me, that I may cast lots for you here before the Lord our God. But the Levites have no part among you, for the priesthood of the Lord is their inheritance, and Gad and Reuben and half the tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance beyond Jordan on the east, which Moses the servant of the Lord gave them. And the men arose and went away, and Joshua charged them that went to describe the land, saying, Go and walk through the land, and describe it, and come again to me, that I may here cast lots for you before the Lord in Shiloh. And the men went and passed through the land, and described it by cities into 7 parts in a book, and came again to Joshua to the host at Shiloh. And Joshua cast lots for them in Shiloh before the Lord. And there Joshua divided the land unto the children of Israel according to their divisions. And the lot of the tribe of the children of Benjamin came up according to their families, and the coast of their lot came forth between the children of Judah and the children of Joseph, and their border on the north side was from Jordan. And the border went up to the side of Jericho on the north side, and went up through the mountains westward, and the goings out thereof were at the wilderness of Beth-aven. And the border went over from thence toward Luz, to the side of Luz, which is Bethel, southward. And the border descended to Atoroth Adar, near the hill that lieth on the south side of the nether Beth Horon. And the border was drawn thence, and compassed the corner of the sea southward from the hill that lieth before Beth Horon, southward, and the goings out thereof were at Kirjath Baal, which is Kirjath Jearim, the city of the children of Judah. This was the west quarter, and the south quarter was from the end of Kirjath Jearim. And the border went out on the west, and went out to the well of waters of Nephtoah. And the border came down to the end of the mountain that lieth before the valley of the son of Hinnom, in which is in the valley of the giants of the north, and ascended to the valley of Hinnom, to the side of Jebusi on the south, and descended to En-rogel, and was drawn from the north, and went forth to En-shemesh, and went forth toward Geliloth, which is over against the going up of Adamim, and descended to the stone of Bohan, the son of Reuben, and passed along toward the side over against Arabah northward, and went down unto Arabah, and the border passed along the side of Beth Hoglah northward, and the outgoings of the border were at the north bay of the Salt Sea, at the south end of Jordan. This was the south coast, and Jordan was the border of it on the east side. This was the inheritance of the children of Benjamin by the coast thereof, round about according to their families. Now the cities of the tribe of the children of Benjamin according to their families were Jericho, and Beth Hoglah, and the valley of Keziz, and Beth Arabah, and Zemaraim, and Bethel, and Avim, and Para, and Ophrah, and Chephar, Hammoni, and Ophni, and Gaba, 12 cities with their villages, Gibeon and Ramah, and Beeroth, and Mizpeh, and Chephirah, and Mozah, and Rechem, and Irpil, and Taralah, and Zelah, Eleph, and Jubasai, which is Jerusalem, Gibeath, and Kirjath, 14 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the children of Benjamin, according to their families. Chapter 19. And the second lot came forth to Simeon, even for the tribe of the children of Simeon, according to their families, and their inheritance was within the inheritance of the children of Judah, and they had in their inheritance Beersheba, and Sheba, and Moladah, and Hazar Shual, and Bala, and Ezem, and El Tolad, and Bethuel, and Hormah, and Ziklag, and Beth Markaboth, and Hazar Susah, and Beth Leboath, and Sharuhan, 13 cities and their villages, Ain, Rimmon, and Ether, and Ashan, 4 cities and their villages, and all the villages that were round about these cities, to Baloth Beer, Ramoth of the south. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Simeon, according to their families. Out of the portion of the children of Judah was the inheritance of the children of Simeon, for the part of the children of Judah was too much for them. Therefore the children of Simeon had their inheritance within the inheritance of them. And the third lot came up from the children of Zebulun, according to their families, and the border of their inheritance was unto Sarid, and their border went up toward the sea of Maralah, and reached the Dabasheth, and reached to the river that is before Jokneam, and turned from Sarid eastward toward the sun rising unto the border of Chisloth Tabor, and then goeth out to Debarath, and goeth up to Japhiah, and from thence passeth on along on the east to Gittah Hefer, to Ittah Kazin, and goeth out to Rimmon Methor, to Neah, and the border compasseth it on the north side of Hinnathon, and the outgoings thereof are in the valley of Jephthah, and Ketah, and Nahalal, and Shimron, and Idalah, and Bethlehem, 12 cities with their villages, in the inheritance of the children of Zebulun, according to their families, these cities with their villages. And the fourth lot came out of Issachar, for the children of Issachar, according to their families, and their border was was toward Jezreel, and Chesuloth, and Shunem, and Hapharaim, and Sheon, and Aharath, and Rabbath, and Kishion, and Abez, and Remeth, and En-Ganim, and En-Haddah, and Beth Pezzez, and the coast reached to Tabor, and Shahazimah, and Beth Shemesh, and the outgoings of their border were at Jordan 16 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Issachar according to their families, the cities of their villages. And the fifth lot came out for the tribe of the children of Asher according to their families, and their border was Helkath, and Holly, and Beton, and Ashaph, and Alamelech, and Amad, and Mishiel, and Reachah to Carmel, westward into Shehor Libnath, and turneth toward the sun rising to Beth Dagon, and Reachah to Zebulun, and to the valley of Jephthah Hill, toward the north side of Beth-Emek and Neo, and goeth out to Kabul on the left hand, and Hebron, and Rehob, and Haman, and Kanah, even unto great Zidon. And then the coast turneth to Ramah, and to the strong city Tyre, and to coast turneth to Hosah, and the outgoings thereof are at the sea from the coast of Achzib, Umah also, and Aphek, and Rehob, 22 cities, which were with 22 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Asher according to their families, these cities with their villages. The sixth lot came out to the children of Naphtali, even for the children of Naphtali according to their families. And their coast was from Haleph, from Elon to Zonanim, and Adami, Nekab, and Jabnil unto Lakum, and the outgoings thereof were at Jordan. And then the coast turneth westward to Aznoth Tabor, and goeth out from thence to Hukok, and reacheth to Zebulun to the south side, and reacheth to Asher on the west side, and to Judah upon Jordan toward the sun rising. And the fenced cities are Zidom, Zer, and Hamath, Rekath, and Chinnereth, and Adamah, and Ramah, and Hazor, and Kadesh, and Edrei, and in Hazor, and Iron, and Migdal-el, Horam, and Beth-Anath, and Beth-Shemesh, 19 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Naphtali according to their families, the cities and their villages. And the seventh lot came out for the tribe of the children of Dan according to their families. And the coast of their inheritance was Zorah, and Eshtaol, and Ir-Shemesh, and Shalabin, and Jalon, and Jethlah, and Elon, and Demathah, and Ekron, and Eltekah, and Gibbethon, and Baalath, and Juhud, and Benabarak, and Gath-Ramon, and Mejarkon, and Rekon with their border before Japho, and the coast of the children of Dan went out too little for them. Therefore the children of Dan went up to fight against Leshem, and took it, and smote it with the edge of the sword, and possessed it, and dwelt therein, and called Leshem Dan after the name of Dan their father. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Dan according to their families. These cities with their villages, when they had made an end to dividing the land for inheritance by their coast, the children of Israel gave an inheritance to Joshua the son of Nun according to them. According to the word of the Lord, they gave him the city which he asked, even Timnath Serah in Mount Ephraim, and he built the city and dwelt therein. These are the inheritances which Eleazar the priest and Joshua the son of Nun and the heads of the fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel divided for an inheritance by lot in Shiloh before the Lord, at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. So they made an end of dividing the country. Chapter 20. The Lord also spake unto Joshua, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, Appoint out for you cities of refuge, whereof I spake unto you by the hand of Moses, that the slayer that killeth any person unawares and unwittingly may flee thither, and they shall be your refuge from the avenger of blood. And when he that doth flee unto one of those cities shall stand at the entering of the gate of the city, and shall declare his cause in the ears of the elders of the city, they shall take him into the city unto them, and give him a place that he may dwell among them. And if the avenger of blood pursue after him, then they shall not deliver the slayer up into his hand, because he smote his neighbor unwittingly, and hated him not before time. And he shall dwell in that city until he stand before the congregation for judgment, and until the death of the high priest. That shall be in those days. Then shall the slayer return, and come unto his own city, and unto his own house, unto the city from whence he fled. And they appointed Kadesh in Galilee, in Mount Naphtali, and Shechem in Mount Ephraim, and Kirjath Arba, which is Hebron in the mountain of Judah, and of the other side Jordan by Jericho eastward. They assigned Bezer in the wilderness upon the plain out of the tribe of Reuben, and Ramoth in Gilead out of the tribe of Gad, and Golan in Bashan out of the tribe of Manasseh. These were the cities appointed for all the children of Israel, and for the stranger that sojourneth among them, that whosoever killeth any person at unawares might flee thither, and not die by the hand of the avenger of blood, until he stood before the congregation. Stand strong in the word of the Lord. Stay blessed. Stay caffeinated. Much love.